and welcome to another video by Are You Arty Kids. So today we're just going to need a rubber, a pencil and just some paper. We're just going to start off with some really rough, simple shape and anatomy drawings for the eye, and then I'm going to move forward later in the video on just sort of liquefying it a little bit, making it a little bit more surreal. But we're just going to start with some basic misconceptions. So if we think about the eye in your head, so obviously you might look at it face on and think that, you know, you've got this sort of rugby ball shape. However, if you think about what the actual eye is, so you've got the hole in your skull, which is the orbit, and the eye itself, if you're looking face on, without your eyelids, you would see it as a circle. If you look at it from a side, we would see it as this ball, this sphere, and then you would have your pupil, and then you would have the coloured part, which we call our iris, and obviously the light would come in here, and obviously, you know, make our images without getting biological on the back of the eye, and obviously sending our messages now, nerves and communication through the optic nerve to the brain. So in theory it's a ball, but we don't see it like that. We tend to see it face on as like a rugby ball shape or a lemon shape. The reason for that is because obviously our eye is covered by our eyelids. So, you know, common mistakes people tend to make when they're drawing eyes really young is, you know, you get these sort of big things like this, you know, with the hole, the coloured part, and you get the lids really wide, and then obviously we get the spider's legs for eyelashes, that sort of thing. And the biggest mistake people make is to have the eyelids not touching the iris, and you're getting all this space around the outside. Now, unless you stick your fingers in your eyes and do that and hold them open, or put matchsticks in them to hold them up, you're probably not going to see the full iris exposed, because this lid sits over and cuts, usually, well, resting eyelid usually cuts this top part here. So that's one of the common mistakes people make. So if we look at how would you actually approach to draw this, now there's lots of different ways to draw the basic anatomy of the eye. The way I tend to do it is, obviously, I've done previous videos on drawing circles, so I won't bore you with that, but if we just drift over a circle, just get a nice circle shape like that first. And then what I tend to do is, once I've done that, is I tend to then draw a line just below the halfway of that circle. So my halfway would probably be a little bit higher, but just below the halfway through. And then taking a couple of points left and right, I would draw that sort of rugby ball shape above and below it, just like that. And then on this side of the eye we have your teardrop, that little sort of strange thing. So what I would do is, just below that halfway line, is I would just get that teardrop just coming off. Just let's zoom in a little bit more. So just get that teardrop shape. So as I say, that's where it looks like a little bit of a lemon on the side. And then the top eyelid is heavy, so that cuts the top of that circle. So I'm just going to go a little bit higher with it, because it cuts the top of that circle. Go around on that eyelid there, and then get that bottom of the lemon shape, and a slightly thinner eyelid on the bottom, so you can see the circle has gone now. So I find it easier to draw that full circle rather than trying to draw it and then just shape that top. So this is where your rubber comes in, and you can obviously rub out what is covered now by the top eyelid. Because you've got that halfway line which sits below the circle, what you will find is that your pupil actually sits probably just above that line. Now, if you think about your eye like a camera, if you are, let's just do a basic drawing here with a very small pupil, this would be the situation you would find if the room or the environment you were in was very, very bright, because that would close down like a camera lens to minimize the amount of light that's coming through. If you were in, I don't know, a darkened room, so you've got your coloured part, the iris, and you've got your pupil again, and this was a lot larger, you would find that this would have opened up to allow more light in, just like your phone lens or your camera lens. So this adjusts depending to do with the intensity or the volume of light that is around. So I tend to draw this just above that halfway line. Yeah, whatever size. This obviously, so if we just label this up then, so this is our This is our pupil. So this is our hole that lets the light through. So I've just done it quite small on this one. This is our iris. This is our tear duct. And then we have obviously our upper lid. So this is going to be heavier. So this is our upper lid. And this is our lower lid. Okay. So that's a lot thinner on there, okay? So that's a very, very basic anatomy of a drawing, sorry, of an eye. So we've got our teardrop, a little bit in there. We've got this sort of lemon rugby ball shape, we've got the upper eyelid, a lot thicker. This obviously is going to change depending on how much light is let through. And then what we'll do is we're going to look at sort of working with pen in the next section of this video, using hatching and cross hatching to get some texture on here, and we're also going to make it a little bit surreal as well, and get it liquefying, maybe with some tears in the eye as well. Okay, catch you in a bit. Hi and welcome to this next section of our video on just basic anatomy of the eye and doing a basic pen drawing with the eye. Now sometimes, I'm not sure if this is the case, but sometimes these felt tips or highlighters you get will actually run a little bit with a little bit of water and a brush. So I've just got myself a little dessert dish with some clean water and number 6 brush. So I'm just going to just see if I can get a little bit of running with this, which gets a nice range of tones. So I'm just going to start on get a nice run on this. So just going to sort of bleed it a little bit, just to create a little bit more glassiness with the white of the eye. Obviously you can't get that gradation with a pen really, so just using the water. So I say sometimes these pens don't run, and what I'm doing is I'm just using, so once I've actually wet the ink, to avoid these heavy edges like this, what I'm doing is I'm just making sure I clean the brush and just using it damp, so not wet, and I'm pulling that edge that I've left, and I'm actually just pushing the ink where I want it really, until I get a nice soft sort of blended sort of edge. And that's that sort of same sort of watercolour techniques as you'd expect with paints. Just trying to create an inky feel, and I might do that on this part as well, because this part of the eye is darker because of the lid. So I'm just going to take some of this ink down using damp brush again, just washing it, moving that ink, and I'm just going to get that even darker in the centre just by wetting that technique. And I'll get rid of these heavy edges, as I say, just by feathering or blending the ink. I might just do some little lines that sort of follow the pen strokes that I had in. Just getting some flicks, and you could probably go back with your pen if you're not happy about it and put more detail back in once it's dry as another layer on top really, so if you've bled it too far. So I'm just going to bleed some of this. Let's just zoom out a little bit, and then just to get some tone above and below the eye, I'm just going to pull some of that ink off the lower lid. Let me be quite rough with this. Remember, unless you're using really good quality paper, don't over wet, because you'll break the paper fibres down. But this will create a nice little bit of form, a little bit of tone, just spreading that ink around, creating some sort of, and it's quite nice when it bleeds and you get this sort of just like wash, which is this is quite nice there, the way that that's just bled. And I can now just sort of really just use your finger or a rag and just take all the water off, and then just soft damp brush, just almost like just rub on any hard edges, just to feather or blend them in. And so that's quite nice the way that bleeds, and you get this sort of green, depending on what the ink is in the pen, you get this sort of green, blue, I mean mine's got a little bit green, sometimes even sort of purple, little bleed on there, which is really quite nice. Try and keep those highlights intact because that gives the eye life. I'm just going to pull that bled ink all around, because this would be the underneath part of the eye, so that's quite nice. And then I might let that dry, and as I say, I might just add some more detail back on it. And if you've over wet it, a little bit like here, remember if you just get that brush really dry, you can sort of, remember brushes have got what we call a capillary action. So capillary action being like a sponge, so it will soak back up a little bit like your sponge in your bath. So you can actually, if you get a dry brush, you can actually almost pull the liquid back off the paper, as it will suck it back up like a sponge does. So you just need to keep taking that liquid off, so it can be quite forgiving. Okay, so I think we'll call it a day on that one. So that's our pen and ink eye using a little bit of water just to get a really nice bled effect. I hope you enjoyed it.